You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you want to listen to this in a still position, you can just take all the time that you need to arrive. You can maybe do some stretching, some side body bends, maybe lift the arms overhead and just get some more length in the stomach, giving the organs some more room to breathe. Just feeling the space between the bottom of the ribs and the hip bones separate a little bit more. Feeling the lungs open up. Just anything at all that feels good. And just doing your best to move in the ways that feels good for your body. And just becoming curious about what feels good for you. And following that path of least resistance. And if what feels best for you right now is stillness, then honoring that stillness. And there is zero rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. But if you are feeling ready at any time, you can just come to a position with the spine nice and straight. And if you're in a space where you feel safe to do so, at any time you can allow the eyes to gently close if they aren't already. You can mark your arrival into your body today, into this practice, with a full and intentional cleansing breath. A long and slow inhale in through the nose, filling up to every corner and edge. Holding that for just a moment and just really feeling that fullness as you then let all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit. Gently pulling the navel to the spine to get that last bit of stagnant air out of you. And then pausing once again to just feel that emptiness. And letting your next breath come as it's needed. And you can breathe just like that for a few more rounds for as long as it feels good. Just exaggerating the four parts of your breath. Your inhale. The pause at the top of the inhale, followed by the exhale, and the pause at the bottom of the exhale. And at any time you can release this guidance over your breath altogether, and just allow yourself to step into that role of the observer, or the role of the witness. And releasing any control or guidance over your breath. And just simply watch your breath. Watch your body as it breathes you. Just remembering how the breath is that one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. So just playing with that control and release of control as we begin today. Maybe feeling the breath slow down as you just start to bring some awareness to your face. And if you could see your face right now, what expressions might be resting there? What feelings might be communicated by the expressions resting there? Maybe some tension in the brow or holding in the jaw or nostrils. And just from that point of noticing, letting that be all you need to instead soften these areas. As you just allow your jaw to hang heavy, allow your lips to be soft, your tongue to release from the roof of the mouth. As you feel your whole throat soften. And allowing that to naturally spread to your chin and nostrils. letting the cheeks and the eyes be soft as well. As you just feel all those tiny muscles along the lash line, all those muscles that scrunch up when you squint, even feeling those release a bit more. As you just let your eyeballs rest in their sockets, and you let your eyelids rest on each other. Even feeling the corners of the eyes get a little bit wider, just by this release of tension. And feeling this naturally spread to the brows and to the whole forehead, just so you allow the full width and depth of your forehead to be. And just letting that naturally spread to your hairline, down to the ears, and across the entire scalp. Just feeling this overall sense of acceptance with the exact position your face is in when it's resting. And even allowing your brain to rest. If you just imagine your brain within your skull, just feeling this exhale as you let your brain just rest in the skull. And letting your awareness follow down the brainstem, down the throat, and into your chest, right into your heart. Just letting your awareness rest in the heart center. As you remind yourself of this power that is constantly pumping life into you every single moment of your life, even before you were breathing air, from the time you were in your mother's womb up to this exact moment. This heart has been pumping life into you. So just letting yourself receive that gift. Trusting that you are worthy of this gift and there is nothing you need to do to prove your worthiness of it. Just the fact that it is here is all the proof you need. Letting your shoulders soften, the arms and the hands. Allowing the rib cage to rest on the lungs, the abdomen to rest on the organs, and your seat to rest on whatever surface is beneath you. Even if it's just for a split second, allowing yourself to be exactly as you already are. Now, as you allow yourself to rest and to be, there may be a bit of chatter going on within you. Maybe some conflicting thoughts, or what we might first feel as conflicting emotions or conflicting thoughts. And maybe if you're struggling with something internally at this moment, you may feel like there's a part of you that is bad, a part of you that needs to be disciplined, a part of you that can't do what it wants to do and needs to stay in line. And if that is the case for you, if you are feeling any amount of conflict within you in any area of your life, not washing over that, not trying to ignore that, but instead looking directly at it. If there is pain present within the body, same thing, not ignoring it or washing over it with love and light, but looking directly at it, accepting this as part of your reality, as part of your present moment with what is right now. And reminding yourself that acceptance with what is does not mean that you agree with what is. It does not mean you like it or want it here. It simply means that you acknowledge it is here. And especially with things that we would rather not be here, that is the first step in releasing. We have to first acknowledge what is. So, feeling the sense of connection with you, the core of who you are, the one who is observing what is. And maybe imagining that all the different thoughts, all the different conflicting emotions within you are all different yous within you. A family of yous that is within you, your internal family. And every single version of you wants to do what's best for you. And they think they are doing what is best for you. And just sometimes there's a part of us that learns that numbing is what saves us. Learns that maybe aggression is what we need to do to protect us. And these are parts that could get addicted to substances or could lash out on the people we love. And so instead of thinking of these as parts of you that need to be disciplined and erased, looking at these parts instead as just a small child within you that is acting out. And if you imagine any small children you might have met in your life, if they're having a temper tantrum and acting out, odds are they won't respond super well to being yelled at and disciplined or ignored altogether. And we are the same way. What we need to do instead is show some acknowledgement to these inner children of ours and show them compassion and love and understanding. Reminding yourself that these parts of you are doing what they think is best, even if you know it's not what's best. They are acting in ways that once served you at one time in your life that just no longer does serve you. Just reminding yourself that just to have a deep sense of compassion for you and for everything you've been through in this life up to now, everything you are currently going through, everything you will go through. Remembering that life is difficult and it's not meant to be easy. And there will be habits or things that we pick up along the way that might serve us at one time that don't serve us right now. So to those parts of you that are maybe struggling to be heard or maybe demonized by other parts of you, it's reminding yourself that there is no part of you that is all bad. There are no bad parts inside of you. Every single part of you, every emotion and feeling exists for a reason. And you're always doing the best that you can with what you have. And having harsh discipline or yelling at yourself or ignoring yourself or parts of you is never going to be the answer. And we can see this very clearly when we're working with others outside of us. Compassion and love always wins. And sometimes it can just be difficult to remember that that is also true with ourselves. So giving yourself a break, giving yourself some grace for all the times you might have been mean to yourself, or all the times you're currently being mean to yourself or extra harsh. Knowing that that is natural and that happens. But just you noticing that that is happening is the first step in loosening that harshness, coming into a place of deeper compassion and understanding for why you do what you do. And when we notice something needs to be changed within us and around us, there is a period of space in between when we notice a change needs to happen and when that change can happen. It's not black and white and not totally linear. Maybe we make the change for a few days and we slip back into old patterns. And just knowing that there is nothing wrong with you when these things happen in your life. It's just another reminder that you are human. And you are living the human experience. And the human experience consists of pain and sorrow and heartbreak, confusion, numbness, as well as love and joy, happiness, laughter, all the good things. And if you are feeling anything you might label as negative or bad, that does not decrease your capacity to feel things you might label as positive or joyful or good. It actually increases that capacity because what we are feeling is the contrast. So just allowing yourself to feel the full spectrum of life. And such a helpful metaphor for this, for me, is the moon. And if you think of the moon that's above us every night, whether we see it or not, the moon does not have its own light. It reflects the light of the sun. And just like our bodies are just matter. But our bodies reflect the light of our soul, of our inner spark. And there are times when we have a full moon right above us, and it is reflecting all the light from the soul, from the sun, and shining down light for others in the darkness, and just shining brightly. And there are other times where we can't even see the moon. It's a new moon. It's not reflecting any light from the sun. It's in the darkness, but it is still there. And there are all the phases in between the new moon and the full moon. And we are the same way. There are times when we feel like we are in the dark and we are disconnected. And other times where we feel full and whole and like we can shine our light for others. And there's nothing wrong with you. You are not being punished if you feel like you're in the darkness. If you're in like a mode of hibernating. It just means that you're in that phase, that particular phase. And we are not meant to stay at one phase. We are meant to move through the phases just like the moon. Just like nature. Just like the seasons. So just releasing any unrealistic expectations you might set for yourself to just be perfect all the time or to feel good all the time. Knowing that that in itself is an attachment that can be released. And you do have the ability to let yourself feel what is. And so just continue to feel whatever is present within you as you listen to these words written by young Pueblo in his book Clarity and Connection. And just allow whatever resonates to sink into you and not worrying about the rest. Do not think in extremes. The answer is rarely all or nothing. Skillful action is finding pathways, even amidst contradictory options. Solutions are found by going beyond the superficial and into the subtle. Understand that life is the integration of complexity. Everything is situational and multilinear. Find the middle path and challenge yourself to think deeper. Give love, but don't exhaust yourself. Be peaceful, but don't become passive. Have patience, but don't settle for less. Trust yourself, but don't develop arrogance. Be open to love, but don't force a connection. And have goals, but don't chase after each craving. And when in doubt, remember you have the power to say no, the authenticity to be you, the patience to keep learning, the fortitude to continue trying, the courage to embrace change, the fearlessness to give selflessly, the wisdom to cultivate inner peace. You have the bravery to fulfill your aspirations, the openness that grows friendships. You have the awareness to follow your intuition and the intelligence to not repeat the past. Letting go does not mean erasing a memory or ignoring the past. It is when you are no longer reacting to the things that used to make you feel tense, and you are releasing the energy attached to certain thoughts. It takes self-awareness, intentional action, practice, and time. I'll add patience. Letting go is the act of getting to know yourself so deeply that all delusions fall away. It is not possible to erase memories or change the past, but you can stop old behavioral patterns, decrease the intensity of blind reactions, learn to embrace change, accept all emotions that come up, build self-awareness, and strengthen good habits. Healing is intentional action plus time. And again, patience. It is hard to see your progress when you are deeply immersed in the process. Before you let doubt take control, examine how much you have grown and accomplished by mentally taking a big step back so you can look at the whole picture. Gratitude makes you happy. Attachment makes you struggle. Gentleness reveals inner wisdom. Harshness reveals inner turbulence. Calmness supports good decisions. And solitude supports transformation. Essentials for growth: proper rest, more learning, consistent honesty, building new habits, and letting go of old stories. Saying no to old patterns, believing that you can change, and saying yes to supportive people. Examining your emotional history, finding a patience to heal past pain, and making time to build self-awareness. Heal at a pace you know is right for you. What works for someone else may not be what you need. Each person holds a unique emotional history, and discomfort is a part of growth, but constant discomfort is not healthy. Self-love is balancing serious inner work with rest and ease. So just take the next few moments to just allow everything you've heard today to settle. And remind yourself that if you've heard something that really resonated with you, just know that that is when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. Just reminding yourself that you can trust yourself. You can trust your instincts. And you already know what you need to do. And there is not one other person on this earth that can teach you more about yourself than what quiet time can teach you about you. At the end of the day, you really are your own best teacher. And just letting that trust with yourself be enhanced a little bit more so you feel more confident to act on your own instincts. And if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center to close this practice. And just allow yourself to take a deep and full breath into the body, letting yourself fill up the most you have today. And as you exhale, allowing your head to gently bow as you let go of anything you're ready to let go of. As you take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. Bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.